Today we are going to meet the tech debt monster who leaves his spaghetti behind in the code for the developers and creates chaos in the developers' heaven. Today we are going to discuss what is tech debt, the impact of tech debt, how we should work to remove that, and some of the situations where we create tech debt deliberately. Tech debt is a mischievous monster lurking in your code and jumps out at you when you least expect it. Welcome back to my blog where we talk about Agile and Scrum. And today our topic is tech debt. So what is tech debt? Tech debt is when we the developers we opt for fast and expedited path to delivering the code. It is when we deliberately take shortcuts, we do not invest time into making our code robust and maintainable in future. Tech debt is the compromise and the shortcuts we take to meet that deadline or deliver the features quickly. Tech debt is at the end of the day a debt, a loan, and we pay interest on this. Tech debt is a loan we take out during the development phase. Just like financial loan, it provides us the immediate benefit and speedy delivery. However, the interest catches up with us quickly. Here we're going to talk about 3 ways how this interest catches up with us. Same way as we with the financial loan, the interest accrues up, builds up, so it does with the tech debt. Every shortcut you have taken, every speedy delivery we have done, the interest is slowly building up to one day coming to a situation where that code is unmaintainable. The longer we wait to fix our tech debt, the more time it's going to take us to fix that. For instance, there was research done that if developers, soon as they found a bug, they fixed that. And let's say it took them 1 hour. But if they left that bug for 6 weeks and picked that same bug up after 6 weeks, then when they come to fix that, it would take them 10 times longer. If it initially took them 1 hour, then now it would take them 10 hours because they will have to go back through the code and see what they did at that moment, what is the testing they need to do. They need to refactor that code. The fixing the bug when the code was fresh in their mind is faster process, and the longer they leave it to fixing that bug, the longer it took them. Same way when we create tech debt, if we don't fix that straight away, if we don't come back and refactor our code straight away, the longer we leave it to refactor our code, the longer it's going to take us when we come to fixing that. So that accrues up tech debt. Like a normal debt, we have to pay interest on this tech debt in form of bug fixes, in form of future efforts to maintain this code, in form of bug fixing, in form of us trying to debug the code. Same way as interest compounds on a loan, the shortcuts we have taken in our code base compound up as well. All the shortcuts, all of the misdocumentation leads to a stage where our code is unmaintainable and leads to a snowball effect. There are some genuine reasons and cases where you would deliberately create technical debt. For instance, tight deadline. If you have a tight deadline, if you have a customer deliverable, or if it is a conference where you need to present your product, then at that time it makes sense for you to take those shortcuts. But soon as that delivery is done, then make it your first priority to fix that tech debt. Go back and refactor that code. Number 2 could be prototyping and MVPs. If you are just building a prototype, then there's no point of you doing the TDD, building all of the unit tests. You just want to prove a theory and concept. At that time, it makes sense for you to build a code which has shortcuts inside it. You're just doing an experiment You are just proving a point. You are just doing an experiment. When the experiment is successful and you are now going to take that prototype, that MVP, and expand it out, at that time it is mandatory, it is must that you refactor that code and make it into proper code. You put your unit test in place. You put all of the documentation in place. Another situation could be where you need to put emergency and critical fix in place. I know we all think we are perfect and our code is beautiful and perfect, but it happens. We accidentally do release bugs in our production releases. And if it is a critical bug, which is blocking your customers, and at that time it makes sense to as quickly as possible for you to fix that bug and take as many shortcuts as it is to fix a bug, but then go back immediately to refactor that code and make that fix, that temporary fix, a permanent and maintainable fix. I am sure you can think of many other situations where it makes sense to put out code into production that contains tech debt. But if that code is going to stay in production, then make sure you schedule when you're going to go back and refactor that code and when you're going to pay off your tech debt. So what you want to do is make your tech debt visible. So on your Jira boards, on your backlogs, create technical stories that mention what the tech debt is and where it is. And so it's transparent to your stakeholders. And in your sprint, you should always put some capacity in your sprint to going and fixing your tech debt if you want to have a application which is maintainable. Agree with your product owner that every sprint 5, 10, maybe 20% of your capacity is going to go towards fixing your tech debt. Another way you can pay off your tech debt is always refactoring. Use that American Scout owner. Leave the campsite better than you found it. So whenever you are touching any of your code base, make sure that you refactor it. You bring some improvement to it and you're leaving that code better than the time when you touched it. So any code you touch, always refactor it, always make it better than before. And this way you're slowly paying off your tech debt. Also, another way of paying off your tech debt is by documenting your code. When you put documentation around your code and comments in there explaining how this code works, it's like paying off part of your tech debt, because that explains that whenever next developer comes over to pick this code up, it makes it easier for them to understand what this code is doing, and it helps them maintain that code better. So whenever you find a missing documentation, write the documentation. And finally, have a culture of continuous improvement. Always implement the best practices in your team and have a culture of continuous improvement, the code reviews, and a culture of continuous feedback. It will help each of you grow and become a better developer. And that overall will mean that the product you're building is going to be robust and easy for you to maintain. And in future, when you have to fix bugs, it's going to be a lot easier for you to maintain that code base. So in summary, a tech debt is a double-sided sword. In short term, it provides you that ability to deliver your code, to deliver the features to your customers and to the end user readily, rapidly. But in long term, if you do not put a dedicated effort to paying off your tech debt, it will become detrimental for your organization, and that application that you have built will become unmaintainable and you will have to start from scratch again. Thank you very much for making so far through this video. I hope it was beneficial for you, and if you have liked it, please don't forget to click on like and subscribe on this channel. And if you're new to Scrum and Agile, then please explore other videos in this channel. And if you're technical, then why not visit my blog where I've written articles about tech debt, about nightly builds versus continuous delivery, continuous integration, and many other technical topics as well as Scrum and Agile topics. Thank you. Till next time.